Hey everyone, this is Father Time with the MCA group. I've just been kind of experimenting with a few things. I really want to work on a new map here, an extreme survival map, for the MCApocalypse server, and so I've been playing with a few of the physics in the world, and I've stumbled across something that I think is pretty fun that I like. So notice how on the landscape here, you can see there's some decay, but generally nothing's happening. And in fact, if we wanted to, we could go down here and put a torch down, and if we watch that torch for a little bit, well, assuming I can fly again, that grass will slowly start to grow back around it, because that's an artificial light source, so it doesn't affect the landscape, it doesn't hurt it. So that actually will take quite some time. And notice though that I've had this running for a long time, hours and hours, and that I've been, testing this, and there's some scorch damage here, and there's some scorch damage over in this forest, a few trees burnt down. I've seen a few animals burst into flames. Same over here, there's some landscape damage, but I like that it's not completely running out of control. If you look around, it's not like the map was just, oh, see, there was some growth right there. So it will grow back under the right conditions. If we actually encased this whole area in a roof and lit it artificially inside and protected it, it would grow back over time. But what we are protecting it from is that the sun. What this little plugin that I'm working on here is kind of simulating that the sun, like our atmosphere, is kind of thinned out. Whenever that sun comes over the horizon, it scorches the earth. So I'm going to go ahead and just speed things up and simulate that now by changing it to, let's just change it to noon. So as you can see, it's high noon, and as the sun comes out, ooh, I fell again. You can notice if the terrain starts to burst into flames in different areas, the terrain actually starts to decay. And as it bursts into flames, see, it's up there, it's starting to decay out a bit. Over here it's decaying. It will catch forest fires. This basically what's occurring is that sun comes out, that sun puts off level 15 light. It's the only thing in the game that does. So when that sun comes out and it hits this grass, it causes it to burst into flames when the grass tries to grow. Or at least it has a chance to burst into flames. And so that's what's occurring, and when it does, it just turns it to dirt and is opposed to growing. So at night, or under artificial light sources, grass will grow just normal. But when the sun comes out, it will scorch it and cause it to turn to dirt instead and turn it on fire. And what's nice about the fire is that it will, oh, here we go. There's an example over here. Oh, it hasn't quite started it yet, but as you can see, it has extreme potential to start forest fires. What I'm hoping is that over time, as this runs for like a month or so, this landscape's going to become pretty scorched. I'm going to make grass box craftable seeds and dirt, and a craft box will give you a grass block. So you can make these farms underground because there's no sunlight underground, so farms, tree farms, everything will grow normal down deep without issue. But the surface will become scorched and will remain scorched even if it keeps growing back with, I've tried it. I sat there for a couple hours, put torches there. It will grow back. Like if you if you put torches under a forest, it'll grow back, and then when the sun comes out, it'll shrink again, and then it'll grow back and shrink again. So you can try to maintain an atmosphere on the surface, but I mean, look around. It's not easy. As you can tell, this is gonna over time get scorched pretty easily. Thanks for that advertisement. Sorry about that. So yeah, this is something that's fun. I can play with the statistics. Right now, every decay has a 20% chance of bursting into flames. I want to keep it low, so fire isn't overtaking the server and causing a little bit of lag. At this rate, it doesn't seem to be. Nope, there you go. There's a forest fire that started due to this So yeah, and keep in mind I have Fraps running right now, 2 servers, an SQL server running. I have, Eclipse running, so a ton of stuff running, and even, I mean, you can see how much fire is around, and it's just not causing any lag, so I don't think you have to worry about that. Yeah, I was trying to figure out a way to get the trees, like tree destruction, because I couldn't do it from the grass event, and then when I figured out to make the grass burst into flames, that really did it. So, yeah, I mean, as you can see, over time it's going to destroy all the terrain. Anywhere where there's grass, it has potential to burst into flames, and if not, it's just going to die. So ultimately, over time, this whole terrain, and I believe, will become completely dead. So yeah, the next thing I want to do is make comets sporadically drop in from the sky when they blow craters into the earth. I really want this map to be fairly destructive. It's not going to be a long-term map. Anybody who plays here is just going to do it for shits and giggles to try to survive. It's going to be something that people can come into from the other map and play on. It's going to get regenerated. I don't know. It might get regenerated. We'll see. The comet hits. We'll try to figure out some ways to maybe make it to where players can protect themselves from it. So, I don't know. I'm thinking aloud. But anyways, that's outside of the scope of what I'm here to show you guys. So, as you can see, where there once was a nice little forest, there's nothing but stubs now. I actually did have it to where the leaves burst into flames on their decay, but I just took that out. It'll work itself out, I think. They'll just decay naturally, so... yeah, I kind of like that it leaves these tree trunk stubs. It makes the planet look a little bit more destroyed like it should, and it leaves some resources for the players. So, yeah, and like I said, I have seen, because the fire's sporadic when it bursts out, and animals and stuff, notice there's no animals in this area. They tend to get set on fire when it's underneath them, like these cows and pigs over here. And this fire bursts out underneath them. I've seen them get set on fire, so it's kind of cool. I think it'll thin out populations too. The next thing I kind of want to work on is some way to make water evaporate. I haven't thought of that yet, but I'd like to start to see these oceans slowly decline and leave nothing but ocean bed and clay and crap like that. Have no oceans on this upper surface, but allow water down below. So, yeah, I'm just having fun here. I like the whole apocalypse theme. I always have, so this is just a little idea that I had. Oh, and real quick, I almost forgot. I stopped it at the last second. That was the worst timing. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but as soon as the sun starts going down, that's what's beautiful about this plugin. Even though the fires start and it seems like, oh my god, that would get out of control because the world's, if it's exponentially growing in fire and the spots are getting bigger and bigger, won't it, take out the entire world? But no, because, remember, they only burst into flames when it's light level 15, which happens when the sun's up. So fire only burns very shortly on its own. So as soon as that sun goes down, notice every fire has put itself out. So it's really neat. It causes scorching. I think I'm going to run with that whole theme, cause scorching to players when there's sunlight, direct sunlight. So basically make the surface a very scary thing to be on during the day. I would like to make that combustion that happens to zombies happen to everything. Just burst everything into flames when the sun comes up. Pigs and everything. Like I said, the comet hits are some other ideas I have. So yeah, notice how, again, there's no fires whatsoever, but for everybody's amusement, one last time. Day. So I'm going to actually, since I've started it again, I might as well simulate this real quick, because I did forget about that functionality in the system, which is great. Again, yeah, it's super important that you don't let these fires get carried away, because for the obvious lag reason. This is actually very simple. This is all done with just a block spread handler, so I'm happy with that too. So yeah, as you can see, alright, we have all the fires going again. They'll just get more and more as time goes on, but a day cycle, I believe, is only 15 minutes, 12 or 15 minutes. So they can only get spread so far before night comes. And I regret stopping the recording because this was what was fun to watch. As you can see, the landscape stays kind of illuminated for a few seconds when nightfall comes down, and as a player emerging from a cave, trying to get away from the scorching. This would be a cool sight each night, I think. And then notice how the landscape kind of just starts going out and becomes a normal Minecraft landscape again. So yeah, I think this is super cool. um, Tell me if you guys like it. This is something that we can make a second map on. I'm going to limit it. I'm going to make it so it's a very small radius. It's only about, I think, 500 by 500, so it's 1,000 in diameter. If you go outside it, you start to get radiation poisoning. We've already worked on that. That's working, so yeah. Tell me what you guys think, and I'm going to go ahead and post this on the website and the forums, and the MCA group website and the MCApocalypse forums, and see if you guys have any opinions, and yeah, try to develop this a little more. So I hope you guys like it. Thanks for watching.